Yogah Karmasu Kaushalam.
I can see a lot of faces which I recognize, and that's very good to see many of our fraternity members being present here in this refresher course. Let me first, on the onset, tell you that, or I must pray to Almighty Ganesha, Lord Ganesha, to keep his blessings on all of you in this tough time. And I pray to Lord Ganesha that our universities and educational departments, our institutes may open as soon as possible after the vaccination. So, once again, I welcome you all to this online refresher course organized by UGC HRDC Gujarat University Ahmedabad. I am thankful to the organizers who had given me this opportunity to share my expertise, or I should say my experience with you. And with this, we will roll on to our presentation of today. Uh, if you are I am audible, there is one request that please keep your mics mute during the presentation. If you have any questions, we will be taking it at the end of the presentation. And as the number of participation is huge, there may be chances that audio will be obstructed in between, or maybe there will be a video problem, because I had experience in numerous webinars that whenever the Google Meet reaches more than 50 people, there will be problem, or there has to be a problem in audio. So though I had kept a backup plan, but I hope and pray God that this should successfully, I should be able to continue with what I want to share today. So thank you once again, and I welcome you all to this presentation. So today I am going to talk to you about advancement and innovation in sports sciences. That's the topic which was given to me by the organizers. And as you see that two more important things which we had learned from today's pandemic, or from the life, is that this COVID-19 has really, hampered our healthcare, and it has shown us the mirror of the healthcare situation in our country. And it's not only our country, but many developed country even collapsed in front of this pandemic. The global economy was shaken just by just one cough, and as the animation says it all. What has saved the world today is most important. What are the things which have saved the world is innovation and creativity. The people who are innovative, the people who are creative, the people who invent are the one who will survive, and that's the future of this pandemic. So you might have seen a lot of innovations which has saved the world during this pandemic, right from when the situation of COVID-19, there was a robos which were introduced. And this was the latest innovation which we saw in Tokyo Olympics, where the robots which were introduced for RT-PCR test and immediate testing of the athletes during the bouts or during the competition. There were COVID-19 strip test which is available nowadays, very easy. Even we are using, yesterday we had entrance examination for our postgraduate diploma coaching, and we saw a lot of students from south and even from Kerala who are coming without testing, and we had provided them this strip test service, and we were able to detect whether they are positive or negative COVID test. New shield has come. You might have seen that we had never seen this new shield, face shield designed, and shield for protecting spray for fabric mask. There is new spray which has been invented. There are negative pressure cabinets which have been created so that the COVID-19 virus could not spread beyond a limit. There is VQ spray dispensers which are available nowadays. Lung care applications, lung care equipments, and there are many sprays which has been introduced, and there are many willing applications, heart rate monitors or fitness monitors, which you can see nowadays coming up. So what has saved the world, what I want to convey to you is this is our learnings, and we learned something like what cockroaches do. Cockroaches are the one insect which are found on this earth for long, long, long time, from centuries and thousands and lakhs of years back till today. They are the only insect who are surviving and surviving well. And one of the reasons they survive, and the way we should learn to survive in this COVID pandemic, has had will continue to have very considerable effects on our life. And to survive in this particular situation, not only physical and mental well-being of the people around the world is important, but there are three things which are very important which we have to learn, and that is adapt, innovate, and unlearn to learn. Now these are three important formula I had given, that's even applicable to the sports and physical education. So if we don't innovate today, we don't adapt to this situation as soon as possible. Uh, like for example, what we can do as a process of adaptation. Anyone who can respond on my this question? How can we adapt to the sports scenario? Yes, yes, Mr. Suresh or Mr. Shiv Prasad. How can we adapt to this sports scenario by accepting the pandemic? Okay, let me answer this. Uh, the best way is, you know, you might have seen a lot of sports competitions going in. Even Tokyo Olympic was successful just because they adapted a bio bubble formula. And the adaptation to bio bubble is something which is the future of the sports now. If there are certain other things which can be innovated, yes, we should innovate if we want to improve the condition. As soon as Mr. Ravi Shastri, Coach Ravi Shastri, went outside the bio bubble, he was, caught with this pandemic, and you see the result. So we have to unlearn the bad habits which we had continued for so many years, and learn the new habits or new things, which is the new formula, or which is the new thing which we have to learn from this pandemic. And we need to be very curious, as curious as this a small kid of a chimpanzee, and try to know what is the things behind and how to analyze the situation. Now today in this presentation I will be talking about the sports fundamentals and how it works. There are certain facts and figures I will be giving you. We will understand the innovation as a whole, what innovation means, what are the types of innovations which we can see in the sports industry. Uh, then we will also be discussing some impactful innovations in sports sciences, and we will also learn about certain softwares and 3D technologies being used today. So first of all, let me ask you, how many sports disciplines are there in the world? Any idea? How many sports disciplines are there in the world? Yes?
Is it in Olympics, sir,
No,
or
no,
in
in
general?
general, in the world, I had asked.
I think, sir, more than 800 plus.
Okay, it is 8,000 plus sports disciplines in the world. Okay, and this I found from World Sports Encyclopedia. So this is quite a surprising element for me even to know that there are 8,000 sports disciplines in the world. So the scope of sports industries is huge, that means. So let me thank that we are in the right industry, and the generation who will be working into sports management are in the right industry. Now, what is sports all about? Let's understand this quickly and then move on to the next thing, because this is very important to understand why we play sports, or why sports, what does sports means to us. Actually, the word sports comes from old French term which no means sports or leisure. And sports is a competitive activity where one team plays against each other, or either one person play against other. So we play sports normally for name, fame, and recognition. Yes, we need a name. We need fame. We become famous by playing a sports, and we get a recognition by playing a sports. So that is the reason we play sports. Sports is also today, if I'll talk about today, long back it was just a recreation, but today we play sports to earn money and also for career opportunity. It also builds our personality and character. It helps you build your personality and character. And it is the biggest entertainment and satisfaction business. It helps us for relaxation, leisure. Somewhere, some of the countries, even sports is known as culture and tradition. So if I talk about Goa, football is their culture, isn't it? Now, if you'll see, what are the top 10 sports in the world, which are most watched, which are most played, and which are most revenue generating? Now, these are the 10 sports listed: soccer, cricket, basketball, hockey, tennis, volleyball, table tennis, baseball, American football, rugby, and golf. Now, these 10 sports which I had named right now has all those characteristics which I had spoken just a minute ago. That is, it has all the elements of sports, recreation, leisure, culture, okay, professionalism. It gives recognition, name, fame, everything. That's why they are most watched, most played, or most revenue. I would like to add one more thing to this aspect. These are also the sports which are backed by most and best technology in the world. If I say so, I am not wrong. Am I? These are the sports which are backed by best of the technology in the world. Okay. So if you want to see a video analysis, you will get a video analysis in cricket. There's a Hawkeye technique being used. There are 3D dimensional, 3D broadcasting being used. Fan engagement technology is being used. So all the greatest technology acknowledging the sports is been used in these games. That's why they are most watched, most played, and most revenue generating. Now, if I talk about what are the innovations which has made them great, so we need to understand first the innovation and then we move on. What are the different innovations we use in sports? Now, innovation is simply a process and outcome of creating something new, and then we create a value or cost to that innovation. Now, there are three aspects to innovations: creativity, invention, and then we innovate. Now, first comes creativity. The creativity is actually the act of, turning something, or you can say, creativity is something which we imagine and that idea comes into reality. That is creativity. Now, let's give you an example of creativity. Now, suppose today I got in my mind to, started playing with a ball, and I thought, let's play with a basketball, and I should put a roller skate and I should play a basketball. So that's how a new version of the basketball or roll ball was invented and created. And once this was created, and this new idea, when it came into existence, it became invention. So when you thought something and imagine something, and then you bring it to the canvas, then it is creativity. And when it is brought into reality, it is invention. But when the same invention is brought into the notice of mass people and it adds cost and value, then it becomes innovation. So there's a thin line between creativity, invention, and innovation. So innovation is actually the process and outcome of creating something new and which can add a value to the product or to the service. So there is a better way to do it, and that's what the innovation is. Uh, how many of you know Thomas Edison? Thomas Alva Edison?
Yes, sir.
May I know who was he? Any idea?
खोज की थी बल्ब
He has
सर
invented bulb.
Bulb.
बल्ब
Bulb.
बल्ब अगर मैं ये बोलूं कि थॉमस अल्वा एडिसन जो था वो साइंटिस्ट नहीं था, तो इट विल बी a shocking news to you, isn't it? Okay.
Yes,
He's
sir.
an inventor of
Ye-
a
yes,
bulb
sir.
phonograph, no, sir.
Actually, what we had studied in the history has been proved wrong by the latest uh, biography written on him, and he was the greatest innovator actually. What he used to do was he used to get all the patents done for the new inventions. वो नए इन्वेंशंस लोगों के लेकर अपने नाम से पेटेंट्स बनाता था और मार्केट में उसको प्रोडक्ट के रूप में निकालता था. That's what he has done. That's why he was the greatest innovator. Okay, but he was not that good scientist, which has been brought into our minds when we were child, and we were taught that he has invented many things, but that's wrong. He has not invented, he has innovated many things. He has given to the world the business model of bulb. लोगों ने रोशनी तो ढूंढ ली थी, but he was the one who has brought it to the world that this can be used as a bulb and which can light many houses. Okay, the second most important thing which we want to learn is the countries which are successful or developed are the ones who are the most innovative countries. Now, if you will see the rankings of these countries, most innovative countries in the world are Switzerland, and we are nowhere in this list. Okay, so if we want to reach as a developed country tomorrow, or if you want to become a developed country tomorrow, we need to come somewhere in this list. And I'm very happy to share that during the lockdowns, the 1.5 year lockdown which we had seen, uh, our country's innovation has grown by 17%. So that's a very good thing. People get time to think. People got time to become creative. People get time to invent and innovate. There are a lot of startups which start, and the startups in India has grown up by 17 to 80%. So that's a very good news. Israel is one of the countries which is very innovative and known for its scientific backup. Types of innovations which we generally see in sports are of three types. One is product innovation, second one is process innovation, and third one is service innovation. Okay. Now, what is product innovation? The product innovation is when we change in how the product is noticed or been seen, or if there is something which is needed by consumer, and for that we had changed the product. So when we change the product in its color, shape, size, then it is known as product innovation. Now, can you give me one of the examples of product innovation? I had already given you one pic of the cricket balls, how it has changed over the period of time from kookaburra to pink ball to white ball. Day and night ball के लिए हम white ball use करते हैं. So it has changed the version of cricket even. T20 balls are different than test balls, isn't it? So these products are changed as per the nature of the sports. Similarly, you might have seen sea change in the bicycles we see nowadays. The In our times we used to see the ladies bicycles. Today it is unisex bikes which are coming with alloy wheels, with aluminum frames and whatnot, starting from 20,000 to lakhs of rupees, from simple bikes to e-bikes which are noticed nowadays. So as per the consumer, these products evolved and changed throughout the time. So these type of innovations which ruptures or which entirely disrupts the entire product scenario is known as product innovation. Okay, so these changes include change in product design. When you change the product design, or when you change the research and development and new product is developed out of the old product, or if you change the product to meet the customer's needs. Like in today, a simple bell which is kept on the stumps is having, when it is dislodged, it gives a flash or light comes out of it, and that's how we know that the bells, when bells come off the stumps. So this is again a very good example of a product innovation, isn't it?
Sir, even though the
tennis racket also.
Yes,
Before that, we used to that wooden racket, and now it comes in a graphite. And in that racket also, there is a one triangle,
yes.
which is anti-vibrating. That when we do the shots, the vibration will be less with that.
It controls the amount of vibration which happens, and because of that, it saves the guttings.
Yes, sir. Yes,
That has been taken care by the designing of the guttings. Previously, it was not there. Silvers का ऐसा लिखा हुआ आ जाता था, paint से लिख देते थे. But
yes, sir.
that
Yes,
design itself is saving the guttings from getting broken. तो वो
yes,
high tension को वो reduce करता है. And now the wire and guttings have been used with a nanotechnology.
yes, sir.
If you are a badminton player, nanotechnology use हो रही है badminton rackets को बनाने के लिए. I will be talking about nanotechnology in my subsequent slides.
Okay, sir.
Now, the second type of innovations which we see is process innovation. You can all be a part of this. It's very easy to, you can be an innovator. कोई भी product आप उठा सकते हैं. Yesterday I was watching on a Facebook a simple innovation which has got lakhs of views, and he's earning in crores now. What was that simple innovation? आपने बैट की ग्रिप देखी होगी, क्रिकेट बैट की ग्रिप आप देखते हो, ग्रिप को, रबर ग्रिप्स को डालने में बड़ा मुश्किल होता है. You have to hold the bat and half an hour you have to put 2 or 3 grips. एक सिलेंडर में ग्रिप आता है, you have to just put that cylinder inside that bat handle, और उसको खींच लीजिए ऐसे धागे से, and you will see that entire grip is been covers the handle. And that's a simple innovation they had innovated. वो grips के ऐसे सिलेंडर आते हैं ऐसे, और उसको डालकर उसको खींच लेते हैं स्ट्रिंग को, और वो पूरी ग्रिप अपने आप बैट के ऊपर चढ़ जाती है. So these are simple things which can change the world of sports. What was the best fitness equipment rated last year? Last year में 2021 में सबसे best fitness equipment किसको मिला है मालूम? Very simple equipment. Have you seen Buso ball? Have you heard about Buso ball? Buso ball ऐसा सेमी सर्कुलर बॉल होता है, सेमी सर्कुलर हाफ प्लेटफॉर्म सिलेंड्रिकल ऐसा सर्कल होता है, और उसके ऊपर से ऐसा राउंडेड बॉल होता है रबर, जो आपका you might have seen fitness ball if it is cut half and it is placed on the ground, it is Buso ball. It is used for controlling your muscles. So that is the best innovation which was rated last year. So I was talking about process innovation. Process innovation refers to when we change the processes of doing something, when we make something simpler, when we make the processes faster for people to use, more accurate, more reliable, less expensive for people, reducing the unit cost. These are the things which are part of process innovation. तो आपका काम करने के तरीके को जब आप चेंज करते हो, whenever you change the way you work, the process or system, then it is known as process innovation. Now, the best process innovation we saw was the Tokyo Olympics, where they had done a lot of testing before the competition, after the competition, during the competition, so that they can avoid any COVID situation during the competition or to the sports person. So these are the process innovations. They had come up with sports specific regulations, which was a process innovation in Olympics. This was the first time sports specific regulations were introduced in any Olympic village. So when organizations apply processes, new processes are evolved, then it has become process innovation. And recently in India, the best example of process innovation is e-license. You can get a license online today. Am I right? You did not to go and take rounds and rounds of RTOs, which you used to do. तो आज आप आपका लाइसेंस घर पे बैठ के बना सकते हैं. Am I right? So this is one of the great example of process innovation. Okay. So whenever you make any changes in the way you work, or to improve the lives of the people, or to improve the or making the things simpler or faster, then you are a part of a process innovation.
Excuse me, sir. Our online
Yes.
webinar also, our online course also is an processing innovative, sir.
Yes, sir. Can you repeat again?
Our online webinar also, our online process also.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
I got your point. I got your
yeah,
point. Yes, this is also one of the process innovation with the time. We from the classrooms we came to the e-classrooms, and that's one of the process innovations. Thanks for reminding me, sir. The third innovation is service innovation. Now, service involves products which are intangible. Now, hospitality business is a service business. Okay, so services, wherever you are providing services, services in the form of technology, services in the form of solution, services to the clients, services to the customers, services for practicing, you are giving services like IRCTC is giving services for reservations or bookings of air bookings, and now they had started new services of water ways, and they had done a tie-up with one of the cruise. So if you want to take these services, it is available on IRCT website. So these are some of the service innovations which has disrupted the industry, service industries. Now it involves finances, food, education. Education is also service industry. Transportation, health, make up most organizations in any economic world. So these organizations also need to innovate continuously. So these organizations, our education organizations, also have to, use certain service innovation in the form of Zoom platform being given to the students, or some other learning apps which have been made available as a form of service innovations nowadays. Byju's apps have been used. Akash learning classes have been used. So there are many service innovations which have been used even in education sector to provide a good services to the students. So service innovation is the third arm of sports, and which can be very helpful. One of the service innovations which I found very innovative and has changed the world of T20 sports was cheerleading. This was the new way of providing service, a new service, new information technology platform which was provided to the people, and people hooked to it. Today you cannot imagine a T20 without the cheerleaders, and they have been paid in dollars now. So this was the most innovative service innovations for which people started coming to watch T20 matches. The characteristics, there are certain characteristics of innovations when we do an innovation, and we see that these innovative characteristics should be there when innovations are done. The three characteristics are sustainable, incremental, and disruptive. When is innovation sustainable? Your innovation can be sustainable when you have done a significant improvement in any product you had launched that aims to sustain the position in existing market. So in existing market, if you want to enter certain product and it sustains that market, that's the sustainable innovation. And that's why you might have read the newspapers, daily newspapers, or if you are reading the blogs and newspapers, you might have find that Ford EcoSports or Ford vehicle productions has been stopped, and Ford has moved out of the country, Ford vehicles. And the reason being, they were unable to give a sustainable product or sustainable innovations or sustainable changes to their products with the time. And if you don't have a product which sustains in the market, existing markets, then that product is not needed by the people. So your innovation will be for a short time, it will be acceptable. The second aspect in your innovation should be incremental. There has to be a gradual and continuous improvements on your existing product and services. So I will talk about this by giving an example. Like if you will see, the market is market's favorite vehicle SUV. If I'll ask, which is the most favorite of most sold XUV today in the section is Creta, Hyundai Creta. or Tata Nexon, which has sold more than 12,000 units. So this also has an incremental innovation characteristics which they had made by changing their product by time. They brought first Tata Nexon, then they also brought Tata Nexon EV vehicle, so that the people who want to free themselves from buying petrol and diesel vehicle, they have an option of e-vehicle. Similarly, Hyundai Creta has got a lot of rivals coming in. So Creta changed into a different vehicle, which is 7-seater Creta, which they had introduced and launched. So this is how your product, once it becomes sustainable, cannot be sustainable for longer time. If you want it to be sustainable for longer time, there has to be an incremental changes in your innovation or whatever service innovation or process innovation you had thought about. The third aspect should be disruptive. Once your product is added with a technology, you have a product with the best of the technology, as in the case of MG Hector, technology or a new business model which you had brought into the market, then this is a disruptive innovation which will disrupt the entire existing market. Can you name one of the disruptive innovative product? Can anyone give me one of the disruptive innovative product in sports which has disruptive it has captured the entire market today? Anyone? Okay. The most disruptive innovative product in sports is Hawkeye. You must have seen Hawkeye being used in cricket for leg before and for finding the path of the ball. Okay, but Hawkeye after that has been introduced in almost all the sports in the world today, whether it is US Open tennis tournament, whether it is Yonex badminton tournament, whether it is world level any event, they are using Hawkeye as a part of the technology partners for innovative solutions to support their officiating staff. So this is one of the products which has disrupted the entire sports industry. And this is some of the data of Hawkeye product. Every year it covers over 7,200 games or events. So it is the most innovative, your disruptive innovations in the recent times. Hawkeye has now become an integral part of 20 sports. Hawkeye has offices around world, UK, Germany, Italy, USA, Australia, and it has been used in 450 plus stadiums in over 65 countries. Okay, so this is the most disruptive product today in the sports industry. Now, talking about innovation in sports. Innovation in sports happens in three ways, or three dimensions, I should say. One is sports sciences, another is sports engineering and technology. So when the sports sciences meet with sports engineering, it evolves a new technology. And we will learn the innovations in sports sciences in 5 different characteristics or 5 different ways. First, we'll talk about the sports technology. Now, sports technology is actually a systematic treatment, or it is an application of scientific knowledge of your for practical purposes, especially in the sports industry. So when we apply our scientific knowledge for our sports practicals or sports practices, then we are using a sports technology backed by engineering. So you might have seen here that this technology has been used by NBA during their basketball matches to show that how the passes have been made and who are the players' positions, what were the players' positions, and how the scores were made from different angles. Now, when we talk about technology in sports, in modern day sports, the technology is being used or observed in following areas of sports. Whether it is fitness, we are using technology in the forms of gadgets, fitness gadgets which are there. Yes, we are using technology for training. We are using technology for training, monitoring your heart rate, monitoring your fat percentage, knowing your BMI. So training purpose also we are using technology. We are using technology to learn about the techniques of the sports, different techniques, how well we had performed certain technique, or what way we improve our technique or tactics for that matter, even strategies to form the strategies. Mainly, you might have seen in football and basketball, the strategical part has been managed by coaches by using these technologies. Feedback system to get analysis and feedbacks of the games and sports. Even for decision making and officiating, we are using this technology. For updated statistics, we are using technology. We are also using this technology to create interest among the students by playing virtual games, reality games, to attract and involve spectators and fans in the sports. We are using the technology. And most importantly and last, we are using technology to identify the talents. So technology differs from sports to sports, but technology is part and parcel of sports. What kind of technology will make the biggest impact on sports in next 12 months? What I am going to discuss is what are the most important technologies, what kind of technologies which will be used in the future. Now, these are three technologies or three areas in which the technologies are being used. And the bigger area is covered by 77.6% technology, which will be used tomorrow is for fan engagement, so that we can involve more and more people involved in that sports. And this is evidence from Tokyo Olympic and cricket Test World Cup, or from for that matter any others, US Open or Wimbledon, that even without fans in the stadium, they were able to earn the same reputation which they had earned before by engaging more people, by engaging the fan engagement technologies. Whether it was live streaming of the tournament, or gaming or esports been involved, gambling has been involved in this particular way. So these are the certain things which are the future of the sports. So maybe there may be only stadiums without people, but still the game may be a successful one because of this fan engagement technology. The second aspect is athlete performance. For athlete performance, most of the technologies have been used. 16.3% technology is used to see the athlete performance, whether it is wearable technology, coaching platform के लिए use किया जाता है, recovery processes, we use these technologies. And 6.1% technology tomorrow will be used for stadium experiences, to create the environment of stadium, to give you a feel of venue or services. टिकटिंग और सेफ्टी सिक्योरिटी के लिए जो टेक्नोलॉजी यूज होने वाला है, और बायोमेट्रिक, और फॉर दैट मैटर आई विल से रोबोट्स फॉर कोविड टेस्टिंग and sponsorships will get a technology for these things too. So these are the three areas in which the sports technology will be useful. Now let's talk about what are the most impactful innovations in sports. Now, there are 5 or 6 most impactful innovations which I will be discussed from here now. The first is nanotechnology in sports. This has changed the way we see the sports today. It has changed the entire make of your equipments. Durable equipments have been introduced, and that was Mr. Bosley has introduced with what changes has this nanotechnology has made in the badminton racket, a simple racket. Augmented reality in sports is another way which has impact on sports. It has a very big impact on the way the sports has been understood and been known today. The third is genetic endowment. I'll be talking about genes and how it has effect, and how genetics is very important factor to know what will be the performance of our athletes at the international level. So finding the right genetic endowment, right genes of the athletes, so that we can have a genetically enhanced performance in sports. The fourth is wearable technology. There are so many wearable technology we are using during the performance, which can record data of an athlete, which can give you the performance of athletes on the field. And also artificial intelligence and softwares are the part of augmented reality. But lastly, I will also talk about neuroscience and brain plasticity. Now these are certain impactful innovations which we have to look forward as a researchers in this particular area of sports. And if you have to take projects tomorrow, please do the project do take projects in these areas or integrate in these areas, so that it will really help our sportsmen of the future. Now first is, let's understand the nanotechnology. The nanotechnology is actually the design or production and application of structures, small structures or devices, by manipulating their size and shape at nanometer scale. You need to understand this nanometer scale. Now, this has changed the entire way of designing the products today in sporting industry. You might have seen carbon nanotubes being used as, carbon frames are being used for making rackets today. They are more durable, and uh, the guttings which are made of nanotechnology, nanocarbon fibers, and silicon nanoparticles have been used for fishing rods, which can take 1000 kilo of pressure of a fish by just a simple, 2 or 3 centimeter thick rod. You might have seen changes in the tennis balls, which are so long lasting nowadays, and they are made of nano composite film होती है, जिससे जिसकी परत से बनता है. It is a layer of composite films in tennis balls that can last longer if coated with this film. So these are certain innovations nanotechnology has given to the sports. Now you must understand what is nanometer, how this works. Recently you might have seen that experiments are going on some of the spider silks are some of the toughest materials known to the man. There are certain spiders which weave their nets, and they are the toughest material known to the man. So these cells get their strength from the crystalline protein only nanometers wide. तो ये crystalline protein जो secrete करती है, that spider been secreting this particular protein through which these spiders this particular material is been woven, and this material is been used to prepare the bulletproof jackets for soldiers nowadays. So this is how the nanotechnology can help and can be a very innovative in creating the products. One tip of your ballpoint pen is 10 lakh nanometers wide, whereas the smallest nanometer, nano means billionth of a meter. You must understand what is nanometer. Nanometer is billionth of a meter. Meter ka billionth hissa. So there are many natural sources which are found on this earth which are made of these nanoparticles. If you find this nanoparticle, like butterfly wings are composed of multi-layered nanoscale structures. So that scientists are finding out the way to find a shell like a butterfly wings. And this particular nanoparticle was also used by one of the Australian scientists who prepared a swimsuit for their Australian Olympians, and which reduces the friction of the water, and thereby improved their performance by 1 to 2 seconds in 100-meter freestyle event. So this is how a nanoparticle can change the performance of an athlete. You're getting my point? So it is a very innovative and impactful technology today. And if you can work on this technology or innovate something like this, can be a very useful product for our athletes. Even today's range javelins are made by nanotechnology. Even pole vault poles are made by nanotechnology. Okay. They are lighter in weight nowadays. Previously we used to use steel poles with bamboo inserted inside. Wooden poles were used, then there were steel poles were used, but they have their limits. Now they have a poles of carbon fibers with made by nanotechnology, which can bend up to more, they can bend at more versatile angles. So nanotechnology will be the future of the sports if it comes to developing equipments, because it will help you reduce the friction, increase hardness. There will be, reduce the weight of that equipment. You will need this nanotechnology. It will help you wear the resistance, and enhance durability of that product will increase, and strength and weight ratio can be maintained. So this is why the nanotechnology is the future of sports equipment. The second impactful technology is augmented reality. Before I further, I hope this is not getting, monotonous for you all. Is it boring or is it becoming monotonous to you all?
No, sir, we
No,
are
sir.
enjoying your
No.
speech.
No, sir.
I hope.
Informative, sir.
Great, great. So the one thing which I want to know, I have around half an hour left with me.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, I'll try and finish it in 15 minutes if possible, because that's too much time for you to wait on online. You know, so I know the limits of being sitting online. So first is augmented reality is the second aspect, which is very impactful, and it has changed the entire interaction, or you can say interactive experience of a people on the screen. So it is actually augmented reality is helping a real world environment is created around the audience. Okay, so it is using multiple sensory modalities which are used, including your visual, your auditory, haptics, somatosensory or olfactory nerves, or your all brain functions get activated when you involve yourself in augmented reality. Now how it works, let's look at augmented reality in sports. Now if you'll see, augmented reality used for officiating today. It is even used for game analysis. It is used for individual performance and its assessment and engaging the fan. And it is also used for training today. So the first aspect is how they are used for officiating. Augmented reality in sports is today helping you in officiating by giving the aspect of whether the ball has, uh, tossed in or out while on the service line, while you are performing a serve in tennis. It is also using for game analysis, like in football, what was the position of defender and attacker and how he moved the ball. So they are giving you an exact situation and situation analysis by augmented reality, and it helps you reduce the risk of failures and injuries, as well as it gives you a very different viewing experience to the fans. You can see the third example is, how many hits have been made by a hitter in the baseball, and where the ball was pitched and where it was hit, and what was the distance covered by the ball when it was hit. So use for individual performance, what areas he has hit, in which area he has hit most. So this creates a fan engagement, that how many sixes Rohit Sharma has, played today, and where these sixes lied in the stadium, and how much distance this six has covered. So this fan gets attracted towards these analysis. And the fourth is use of technology. Augmented reality gives you a real-time idea of where the ball moves, how much angle it curved, and what was the position of a goalkeeper in that case. So these are the aspects which I try to give, which augmented reality creates. Now, the idea behind knowing augmented reality is that it will definitely going to change the research of future generation of physical educationists and sports industry, for that matter. We have a lot of students who will be taking up researches in this augmented reality, or how the ball pitched in and what are the areas where we have to work, whether it will be used in sports stadium construction and sports stadiums look, and how the stadium creates an environment for fan. It will also be helpful in use of sports broadcasting, for sports training purpose, how augmented reality will be used. sports marketing. It is used for sports marketing nowadays, and augmented reality for techno sports being created, and also the new generation of sports, which is fantasy sports or esports, which is coming in a big way today. Augmented reality will be the future. So the third aspect of the first aspect of augmented reality is sports stadium, the creation of sports stadium. So many people prefer to go to the stadium for full adventurous enjoyment and feel of the stadium. But those who are unable to go, now suppose I don't have money to buy that ticket, but I can still watch that game on my television, and I can have that feel of stadium and that sound and the people which are crowded around. So it gives me an opportunity to meet new friends and get the feel of that environment. So it has a long lasting memories on your life, and that's why the stadium experiences is something which will be, using the augmented reality. And it is also been used as a sports broadcasting to give the figures and facts about the players and your role models. Their footage videos have been created and been played sideline to the commentator, or when he is explaining that 3D image comes about that particular player or your role model. The Let's move on to the sciences in which how this particular technology will be helpful. You must have heard about genetic endowments, and you all know that genetics plays a very important part in the sports performance. So genetics is something where we have all carry inherited attributes or characteristics from our ancestors or from our parents. So it plays an important role in performance. So whatever been passed from one generation to another generation in the form of genes, the genetic attributes acquired through your parents or biologically which has been transferred uh, may affect your attributes in sports. Now when I say so, there are certain techniques or which has already the companies which has already been launched in India. When I was working in Symbiosis, I met one of this company, performance profiling, which are DNA fit, which came to me and they said that we can really check your DNA profiling and find out whether you will have chances of getting cancer or diabetes or heart attack in the near future. So I was surprised to know what technology they are using. And when I sat with them and I find out that they see the DNA profiling of a person, of what diseases your ancestors were having, and whether the same genes have been transferred from your ancestors to your body. And that's how they can predict very pinpointedly. They can predict that after 10 years or 15 years or 20 years, what are the diseases is going to happen in your family. So over the past few years, performance profiling has become a new tool of talent identification, and this is the one of the best tools the coaches have today. So India is also relying on this tool. If you want to do a talent identification, you should not avoid genetic endowment or DNA profiling of players. So it actually helps in three ways. DNA profiling or genetic endowment helps to aid in identifying an appropriate intervention. हमें क्या करना है, कब करना है, हम ये पता कर सकते हैं. At what age a person should be introduced to the game. It also helps to maximize the athlete's motivation, how athlete behaves in certain situations. What is it adherence to the program, how committed he is to the program. So this is also can be known through this particular technique. And it has also been used to monitor any changes which has came into your body over the period of time. So this is how it can help you manage your sporting performance or sporting talents of your future athletes. So if you want to make a champion or a making of champion, it is the product of nature and nurture, but the science has gone far beyond this. We used to tell about nature and nurture, which is very important for building an athlete or athlete. But the making of champion with predetermined skill set is now been chosen. Like China has an Olympic factory, and they prepare the gymnast or any sportsman. They start at the age of 3 or 4 years, and they know that he is going to be an Olympian. Why? Because they choose the right way or genetic endowment methods which they apply in selecting of that child. Once that has been done, then only he has been introduced in that sports. Okay, so you might have learned about the China way of preparing Olympics. So that is one of the very cruel reality which world is seeing nowadays in the world of sports. So it is a very cruelly they are training their children to become Olympians. So it is genetic engineering, gene therapy, and gene doping, which is, I should say, which has been a part and parcel nowadays to get Olympic success in the near future. Okay. Augmented reality I had covered almost. The fourth way is wearable technology. Now, wearable technology is the next market, and it has covered around a business of 200 to 300 billion dollars every year. Now, wearable technology in the form of swimsuits nowadays, you can see. You have seen wearable technology in the form of goggles. Athletes wear wearable technologies in the hand in the form of fitness watch and fitness bands. They can monitor all the physiological data. Wearable technology to on the back, which this athlete is wearing. It gives entire online data to the athlete, and there is a wearable technology which is been used to. I have lot of
हेलो
I have lot of
रेखा
disturbance.
मैम
Excuse
आपका
me.
स्पीकर ऑन है हेलो रेखा मैम
हाँ हेलो ओके मैम ओके
Thank you. So wearable technology is the next big innovation which has impacted the sports. And if you'll see the data of or statistics of the wearable technology, which has been forecasted from 2016 to 2020, though it has not been able to considerably achieve what they had given the figures in due to the COVID, but they very quickly will achieve what they had been predicted. In 2016, it was 123 million business, that is $14 billion business. Into 2020, it will rise to 34.2 billion. Just imagine. So tomorrow, many people will start gifting their beloved ones, their children, these wearable technologies as part of the gifts now today. I know that how many of you might have gifted something like this to your children or to your loved ones. Maybe it's a locket, there is an eyewear, or there may be a wristband, there may be jewelry, there may be watches, so there will be wearable cameras, whatnot. So there is everything which you can put as a wearable technology is being used today in the world. You name it, it is available in the market. The last but very important, which I want to discuss with you, this is my favorite subject, neuroscience, which is the future of sports science. And those who are young researchers who are listening to me must rely on this particular aspect of training. So athletes spend a lot of their time working on their physical capacities, but they don't remember that ultimately who gives the signal to work. Muscles work under the command of brain. So if someone who wants to train his body needs to train his brain, that's the key of strength training, or for that matter for skill training or for any sports. So if you can train your mind or your brain, it is very important aspect that you will improve in your sports considerably. So training brain doesn't mean that training brain with certain exercises, but training brain in the way that it develops skills very fast. I'll give you a certain example. I know that it is very difficult to play videos in Google Meet or Google platform, but I will give you certain ideas. When we teach a skill starts from simple to complex, and when we perform the skills, sometimes we struggle in the first time when we perform something new when it brought to us. or something new strategy has been formed, a player is unable to perform it well in the first instance. But the brain is the one who adapts to the new challenges or new skill or new way of performing the skill. So first, if you can train the brain to perform the skill, it is the it is it is the faster way of learning that skill. So focusing our training on the brain is the future. So there are four states of flow which see in the sports. The first is the struggle phase, where we struggle while doing something new. So new patterns have been built, neural patterns are formed in the body. All of you know nerve cells or neurons. You might have studied as a students of bachelor's degree that how neural patterns are been formed when you do certain activity or certain exercises. So suppose you go to the gym and tomorrow your trainer says you have to do something different today, and he introduces you with a different movement. So it will be very difficult for us to do that movement on the first instance, क्योंकि वो exercise हमने पहले कभी नहीं किया. But as you do 3, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, and you realize it becomes easy. Why it becomes easy? Because first we struggle to do any exercise. That particular phase is struggling phase, and that's where brain is being challenged by the new activity. And when the brain is being challenged, it start readjusting with that challenge. तो ब्रेन अपने आप को इस स्ट्रगल के कारण चैलेंज को एक्सेप्ट करने की कोशिश करता है. And when it gets adjusted to that challenge, then the second stage comes, which is release phase. So when you accept that challenge or struggle and you continue doing that activity, then there is a third step, which is flow state, which comes and you start doing that activity very easily. And the fourth step is brain rewrites and it goes into their permanent memory, consolidation phase bolte hain jisko, and you remember everything that happened during your performance. So this is the one of the phases where your peak performance come, and when the things comes to you, it becomes automatic. So suppose you had never tried bicycle kick in football. You had never tried bicycle kick in the football, and tomorrow if somebody says you have to perform this bicycle kick, it will be very difficult for you to perform because you had never done that. But after practice for 10, 15 days, 16 days, after struggle phase is gone, there is a state of flow comes and consolidated states come. As soon as the ball comes over your head, automatically you goes into bicycling kick. So that is the way you can train your mind. And if you can understand how to train your mind for certain skills or techniques, you have a better success rate in the sports. So a lot of scientists are nowadays for strength and especially for weightlifting and powerlifting, they are relying on proprioceptive and this form of neuroscientist or brain plasticity techniques been used, where they are finding the right pattern of brain for performing certain skills. If we find that right pattern of the brain, every time when he'll perform, he'll reach the peak. So that's how this particular technology can change the future of sports if we understand the brain properly. Then there are certain softwares today which are in use to ease the life of sportsmen or to ease the life of the organizers, or for that matter, sports event managers. There is a sportive double cloud-based softwares which are used for sports league tournaments. There is a Team Snap cloud-based team management solution for parents, coaches, team managers, group organizers, and this is for making a better communication among teams. There are team apps, Zoom Sports, and whatnot. There are many online registration softwares are available, online payment softwares are available, ticket booking softwares are available. There are tournament fixture softwares which are available, tournament statistics softwares are available. So there are a lot of softwares which has made and our lives easy now today in the sports. Just I would like to end with certain new things which have been introduced in Tokyo Summer Olympics, and these are some of the hottest technologies and new innovations introduced by Toyotas. Toyota is well-known company of Japan. Intel drone lights, which has been shown and been part of the opening and closing ceremony of Tokyo Olympic. without being disturbing the environment with the help of crackers, which we had seen earlier. uh, it was the perfect technology to save the environment. Toyota service robots were given for Paralympics. These robots help the athlete to bring it to the arena. They take care of their needs. If they want water, they can give them water. If they have to be tested, they can test their COVID-19. So these are the robots which were introduced in the Toyota service robots, which they called that. And this was one of the technologies used in the Olympics. 3D athlete tracking technology was the first time seen in this Tokyo Olympic, where you can see the distances covered by the athlete. If you can see these yellow lines behind the athletes, is it visible to you?
Yes, sir.
है ना?
Yes,
So
sir.
this
Yes,
clearly
sir.
gives which
Yes, sir.
athlete is, leading the way. Uh, Previously, it was very difficult to find out which athletes, when it is a close finish, it was very difficult to find out. But today, with this technology, the distance covered and the path covered by the athlete and the distance covered per, what we say, uh, the every step he has covered the ground is also been calculated here. It also helps you knowing the distance, height covered by an athlete during the jump or during the throw. And there is a third technology which was used was OBS pioneering a broadcasting technology where you can see a lot of screens and you can see a parallel image has been created to give the entire image of a big competition going on in an area. So this gives a very good view to the fans that what is exactly going on into that particular arena. So this was a broadcasting technology which was used. This is console panel, which is made of small, screens of 1 centimeter, and they add the images and create the big screen. Okay. Panasonic contactless vital sensing. This was used in archery, where every movement of your face, eyes, and sensory images were transferred to the fan so that they can see it closely. The impressions when an archer is taking a shot. Omega tracking timing was an official athletic partner of Olympic partner, which give photo finish and timekeeping department a sigh of relief. Photo finish judges were made or were evolved with the help of Omega tracking timing. So these were certain technologies which has really come up during these Olympics, and new technologies will evolve as the Olympics will be organized in the near future. So world in 2030, how will be the future? Uh, there will be certain innovations which we have to see, or if you are to work on, these are the areas where these innovations will take place. Most of the innovations will take place to see that how we can connect from home to home. That's what we are doing. This is one of the platforms we are using, Google Meet. 75% will use remotely monitored devices and voice activated appliances connected from home. And there will be a lot of changes in transportation and technology breakthroughs. We had seen in this COVID situation the transportation of your oxygen to the there is, excuse me, there is certain just Savitri madam, you have to mute your Savitri madam.
सावित्री मैम
सावित्री मैम आपका माइक ऑन है।
Yeah, thank you. So you might have seen a lot of problems while transporting the oxygen from the oxygen plants to the hospitals was one of the problems, and that's why there is a lot of technology being used in transportation of this material to the hospitals, and new pipeline technology has been evolved, and this transportation of material from these pipes to the vital areas is the new technology which will be developed in the near future. And technology led healthcare revolutions is one of the things which we'll see in the future. and new ways in factories, brick and retail prices, and technology in physical stores, how to sort out the equipments and material. And these are certain technologies which will be seen in the malls or for big bazaars and D-marts for that matter. So these are the some of the technologies which we'll see and change in tomorrow's world. With this, I would just end my presentation today with three important things which I want to share with you all. Word of wisdom, I should say that we must listen to the PE and sports which are from the past, the people who are from the past. We must respect and listen to them because that's from where our innovations will evolve. Physical education and sports today, we must study and research, and the future students, physical education and sports is the future, and we must anticipate and innovate to know more. So these three words of wisdom, with this I would like to end my talk today, and I would be very happy to take questions if any, so that we can take this discussion forward. Thank you, and for patient listening. I know this was not easy, but thanks for being there and listening it very patiently.